He didn't fail in public. No big scandal. No dramatic crash. No loud breakdown. He failed quietly. In small choices. In silent nights. In I'm fine texts. And the worst part? We all missed it. We thought he was okay. Because he still laughed. He still showed up sometimes. He still said the right words. Then one day he disappeared from our group. Not like someone who moves away. Like someone who gives up. And his story still haunts me. Because I keep thinking about what I didn't notice. Listen to this story. Not for sadness. For awareness. This story is about my friend. But it's also about how people break in silence. You will hear 3 turning points. 3 moments where something could have changed. I'll also break down the psychology. Why people hide their pain. Why friends miss the signs. And what you can do if someone you love is fading. At the end, I'll give you a simple plan. Practical steps. Not perfect steps. Real ones. If you've ever felt guilty about someone you couldn't save, or you worry about a friend right now, stay with me. 3. Chapter 1. The friend everyone liked. Turning point 1. His name was Omar. Omar was easy to be around. He had that calm humor, the kind that doesn't try hard. He listened more than he talked. He remembered small details. He showed up when it mattered. In high school, he wasn't the loud one. He was the steady one. Teachers liked him. Friends trusted him. And Omar had dreams. He talked about starting a small business. He talked about helping his family. He talked about getting out of the same cycle. We believed him because he had that look, the look of someone who will make it. After school, life moved fast. Some of us went to college. Some got jobs. Some moved. Omar stayed close to home. He said, "I'll work first, then I'll study later." It sounded reasonable. At first it was fine. He worked at a store, then a delivery job, then a small office role. Nothing big, but it was progress. Then the problems started. Not huge problems, small ones that build a wall. His boss underpaid him. His schedule changed every week. His family needed help with bills. Omar carried it quietly. He never complained. He never asked for pity. He just said, "It's okay." But it's okay can be a lie people use to survive. One night we met for food. We laughed. We talked. We joked about life. Then I noticed something. Omar smiled, but his eyes didn't. His laugh came late. His shoulders looked heavy. I asked, "You good?" He nodded fast. "Yeah, just tired." We accepted it. That was turning point 1. Not because something dramatic happened, but because that was the first time the signs showed, and we didn't stop to look deeper. We saw the surface. We missed the weight. 4. Chapter 2. The quiet spiral. Turning point 2. Months passed. Omar stayed busy. Too busy. He started skipping meetups. He would say, "Next time. I'm working. I'm dealing with stuff." We didn't push. We thought we were respecting his space. But sometimes, space is where people disappear. When we did see him, he looked different. Less energy. Less spark. He started making small jokes about himself. "I'm behind. I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm just wasting time." We laughed with him. Not because it was funny, because we didn't know what to say. That's the problem. People hide pain inside jokes because jokes feel safe. One day I called him randomly. He answered, but his voice sounded far away. I asked, "What's up?" He said, "Nothing much." Then he paused and said, "You ever feel like life is passing and you're watching it from outside?" That question hit me. I wanted to say something deep, but I didn't. I said something small. "Bro, you'll be fine, just keep going." He laughed softly. "Yeah, sure." We ended the call. Later that night, I replayed that moment. I felt uneasy, because his voice didn't sound like a man who needed motivation. It sounded like a man who needed help. But I told myself, he'll reach out if he needs it. That's what we all tell ourselves. And that thought becomes a trap, because people who are drowning often don't wave. They go quiet. Then life hit Omar again. He tried to start a small online business. He saved for months. He invested in stock. He bought some equipment. He didn't tell many people. He didn't want pressure. For a while, he felt hopeful. Then it failed. Sales didn't come. Costs piled up. The money disappeared. Omar didn't post about it. He didn't talk about it. He just went quieter. A few weeks later, I saw him outside a store. He looked tired. I said, "Hey, how's everything?" He smiled. "Same." I asked what happened to the business thing. His face changed for half a second. Then he said it was stupid. I said it wasn't stupid, it was brave. He shrugged like he didn't believe me. Then he said something that became turning point 2. He said brave doesn't matter if you still lose. That sentence haunted me. because it showed his mindset. He was measuring himself only by outcomes. Win equals worth. Loss equals useless. That belief destroys people quietly. I wanted to argue, but before I could, he got a call. He picked it up. He said, "Yeah, I'm coming." Then he looked at me and said, "I gotta go." And he walked away. I watched him go, and I felt something heavy. Not fear, regret, because I knew he was slipping, and I still didn't know how to hold him. 5. Chapter 3. The day he disappeared. Turning point 3. The last time I saw Omar, he looked normal. That's the scary part. He came to a group meetup after weeks. He smiled. He joked. He ate with us. He even said we should do this more. We believed him. We thought he's back. But later that night, when everyone left, Omar stayed behind with me. We stood outside under a streetlight. Cars passed. The air was cold. Omar looked at the ground and said, "Do you ever feel like you're carrying a bag nobody sees?" I stayed quiet. He continued. "I'm tired, man," he said. "Tired of trying. Tired of failing. Tired of feeling like I'm behind." I finally asked the real question. "Are you thinking about hurting yourself?" He looked up fast. His eyes widened. He said, No, nothing like that." He forced a smile. "I'm just stressed." I wanted to believe him, but something in me said, "Don't let this go." So I said, "Let's talk tomorrow, properly." He nodded. "Yeah, tomorrow." That was turning point 10, because tomorrow didn't come. The next day, I texted him, no reply. I called him, no answer. I waited. Hours passed, then days. His phone stayed silent. At first we assumed he was busy. Then we assumed he was avoiding people. Then we got the news. Omar didn't die, but he did disappear. He left the city quietly. He moved to a distant place for work.
He cut off almost everyone.
He didn't announce it.
He didn't explain it.
He just vanished.
Later, I heard he took a job far below his potential. Long hours, low pay. He stopped dreaming. He stopped building. He stopped hoping. He survived, but he stopped living. And that is why his story still haunts me, because it showed me something scary. Not every tragedy ends with death. Some tragedies end with a person still breathing, but emotionally gone. Psychology breakdown. Why people fail quietly. Here's what I learned from Omar. Quiet failure often comes from 3 things. 1. Shame. Shame tells you, if people see your struggle, they will judge you, so you hide. 2. Identity collapse. You start believing, my results are my worth, so every loss feels like proof you are nothing. Isolation. You stop showing up. You stop answering messages. You stop asking for help. Not because you don't want love, because you feel like a burden. Omar wasn't weak. He was overwhelmed and alone, and he didn't have tools. He didn't have language for his pain. So he did what many people do. He disappeared. What I wish I did. Practical steps. This part is for you. If you have a friend like Omar, do this. Step 1. Don't accept "I'm fine" too fast. Ask a second question. Not "Are you okay?" Ask, but what's been heavy lately? What are you dealing with in your head? What do you need right now? Step 2. Watch patterns, not moment. One bad day is normal. A pattern of withdrawal is a warning. If they stop showing up, take it seriously. Step 3. Offer specific help. Don't say, "Let me know if you need anything." People won't. Say, "I'm coming over tonight. Let's go for a walk. Let's eat together. I'll help you apply for jobs for 1 hour." Specific help feels safe. Step 4. Speak the scary question. If you sense danger, ask directly, "Are you thinking about hurting yourself?" This does not put the idea in their head. It can save their life. If they say yes, get help fast. Call local emergency services. Reach out to family. Contact a professional. Step 5. Help them rebuild identity. Remind them, a loss is an event, not a label. You are not your failure. You are not behind forever. You are in a hard season, not a hard life. Step 6. If you are the Omar, read this. If you feel like Omar, listen. You don't have to disappear to feel safe. Tell one person the truth today. One sentence, "I'm not okay, I need support." That is not weakness. That is courage. Omar's story still haunts me because it feels unfinished. Sometimes I imagine calling him again. Sometimes I imagine sitting with him longer that night. Sometimes I imagine saying the right words. But life doesn't let you edit old scenes. It only lets you act in the next scene. So if you're watching this and you have a friend who is going quiet, don't wait. Send the message. Make the call. Show up. And if you are the one going quiet, please don't disappear. Your life is not over because you failed. Your life is not ruined because you're behind. You are not a finished story. You are a person in a hard chapter. One action today. Text one person right now. Can we talk today? I've been carrying a lot. Just that. If this story mattered to you, subscribe. This channel shares real stories with real lessons and real steps. And comment one word below, check in, so you remember to reach out to someone today.